Psalms chapter 33, verses 13 to 22. The Lord looks from heaven. He sees all the sons of man. From his dwelling place he looks out on all the inhabitants of the earth. He who fashions the hearts of them all, he who understands all their works. The king is not saved by a mighty army. A warrior is not delivered by great strength. A horse is a false hope for victory, nor does it deliver anyone by its great strength. Behold, the eye of the Lord is on those who fear him, on those who hope for his loving kindness, to deliver their soul from death and to keep them alive in famine. Our soul waits for the Lord. He is our help and our shield. For our heart rejoices in him, because we trust in his holy name. Let your loving kindness, O Lord, be upon us, according as we have hope in you. Living under 24-hour surveillance. These sermon notes taken from Psalms chapter 33, verses 13 to 22. How would you feel if you found out that someone had been watching your life for the past 7 days or 24 hours? It's normal for us to feel scared and probably report the incident to the police immediately, especially since many crimes involve monitoring the target for days before the event. However, being closely monitored doesn't always have to cause fear. It can also create a sense of security. For example, knowing that the antivirus program on our laptop is working non-stop to fight computer virus threats helps us feel safe when browsing the internet. Or understanding that the counterterrorism unit constantly monitors potential terrorist cells 24/7 reassures citizens in working, worshiping, and resting. We Christians believe in the existence of the Lord of the universe, and we understand that he watches over all creation at all times. And so the psalmist powerfully expresses this belief in verses 13 to 14. He said, "The Lord looks from heaven. He sees all the sons of man. From his dwelling place, he looks out on all the inhabitants of the earth." This statement is not just poetic, but it reflects a reality in the spiritual realm. Revelation chapter 4, verse 6 describes how the Apostle John was taken to a heavenly sanctuary, and there he saw the throne of God, with 4 living creatures full of eyes in front and behind. They are standing around the throne. This is the clearest picture of how God observes the whole universe. But not everyone is aware of this reality. Not all non-Christians realize that God constantly watches over every aspect of our lives. Even the atheists deny God's existence. So this is actually concerning. Why? Because those who reject God lack a fixed and objective moral standard. They follow moral guidelines that shift with the trends of the times. Morals based on trends cannot ensure a life of holiness. In other words, when we realize it or not, being watched by God 24/7 makes a big difference between living a holy life or living a sinful one, between trusting in God or relying on ourselves. The author of Psalms 33 emphasizes reliance on God. David recognizes the fragility of human strength and wisdom, including his own. Although David is a king, he cannot always guarantee victory, prosperity, or peace for his people. Having a large supply of natural or human resources doesn't always guarantee that our goals will be met. Therefore, he believes that the best choice is to trust in the Lord. And King David is proud to call himself someone who fears God and depends on His grace. Brothers and sisters, would you be willing to trust in God? I know this question might sound cliche. However, not all Christians are willing or able to depend on God. This can be a significant challenge for many. I want you to imagine this sketch of life. Imagine a child raised in an orphanage from a young age. He realized early that life is a struggle in such a tough environment. No pain, no gain. To achieve something, he must sacrifice something. So he studies and works hard until he can finally live independently, no longer in the orphanage. He now understands that there is no free lunch in the world. So he keeps studying and working hard until he can start his own business and settle down and connect with politicians. Sometimes he goes to church at his wife's urging. However, no matter how often he listens to the pastor's sermons about the gospel of God's grace, he cannot accept that offer because his principles of life have become a fortress too strong to break through. Surrendering and trusting in God feels like a lesson from an alien planet. I know many Christians share a similar view that quietly unsettles them. They find it hard to understand how the law of grace fits into this world where man is often a wolf to another man. Depending on God seems like a sign of weakness or laziness or cowardice. And for them, the gospel of grace is just an effort to avoid life's harsh realities. But the Bible has never taught this. The righteous people in the Bible always work hard. They did what they could do, but left the outcome to God. Some even took big risks, risking their own lives, trusting God would help them. That is why Abraham had relations with Sarah, his wife, at 99, hoping to have a child. That is why Moses challenged the greatest empire of his time, armed only with a staff in his hand. That is why David, the author of this psalm, as a teenager bravely faced a giant warrior armed only with a few stones. These righteous men share a common trait. They believe in God, they trust in Him, they depend on Him. Or as stated in Psalm 33, verse 18, they hope for His loving kindness. So why do certain individuals reject God's grace while others warmly accept it? What makes some people depend on God while others try to face the world on their own strength? The secret is in having the Spirit of God. The psalmist is willing and able to trust in God because God's Spirit lives inside of him. The Spirit given to him guides his whole life with hope in God's steadfast love. And David was very aware of this. So he prayed to God in Psalm 51, verse 11. Do not take your Holy Spirit from me. Therefore, we can only rely on God if His Spirit is within us. The Apostle Paul wrote in Romans chapter 8, verses 14, all who are being led by the Spirit of God are the sons of God. If we have God's Spirit, we become children of God. If we are children of God, we will feel secure because God, our Father, watches over our lives to nurture, to protect, and comfort us. I'll end this note with an illustration. You know, the Native American tribes once had a unique way of training their children to become brave young men. On his 13th birthday, a boy faced a final test. Blindfolded, he was led by the tribe's leader deep into a forest. and left there overnight. When the boy removed the blindfold, he found himself alone in the dark and frightened. Every time a branch snapped, he imagined wild animals ready to attack him. And time seems to move slowly. But finally, dawn broke. The boy began to gather his courage to explore the woods when suddenly he saw a figure standing in a tree just a few feet ahead, armed with a bow and arrows. It was his father, the tribe's chief, who had stayed all night to guard his son. So, brothers and sisters, the eyes of the Lord watches over us all the times. Let our souls always depend on the Lord, because He is our helper and our shield.